Headlines most affecting Abbotsford this week. MP Ed Fast retires from federal politics. And Fast's replacement, those candidates are now emerging. As well, a domestic dispute turns deadly. As well, Rotary Stadium can now light up the new scoreboard. We'll have that in sports. All right, Abbotsford, let's get started. Late last Friday night, Abbotsford police responded to the report of an assault in progress at a residence on the 3400 block of Wagner Drive. When they arrived, Abbey PD found a 41-year-old female suffering from life-threatening injuries, and she did survive. Then on March the 16th, 50-year-old Jagpreet Singh of Abbotsford, the husband of the victim, was charged with second-degree murder. IHIT is calling this an isolated incident. All politicians have a shelf life, and in the case of Ed Fast, it's time for retirement. It's on the horizon. The Abbotsford MP has held his position for 18 years. He and his family have been in Abbotsford for 42 years. Fast announced that he's not going to seek re-election in the next federal vote. That is scheduled for October of 2025. So from his online statement, quote, "It's been more than 18 years that I've served as an Abbotsford representative in Parliament. It's now time for the next generation of leader to step forward and represent residents of the community. So I have asked our party leadership to begin an open and fair process to choose that leader." Having said that, Mike Murray is in the running to be the next Conservative Party of Canada candidate for the future riding of Abbotsford South Langley. Now, Murray was the executive assistant to Ed Fast. As we mentioned, just announced he was retiring from federal politics. So from his Facebook page, Canada, quote, "is in decline and needs a way forward. Freedom is on the ballot in our next election. We need a new Conservative agenda that champions the great Canadian comeback. We need a common-sense leader like Pierre Poilievre to be our next Prime Minister." But that's not all. Businessman and former vice president of the Langley Rod and Gun Club and a volunteer range officer, Steve Schaefer, has also thrown his hat into the federal Conservative ring to replace Ed Fast. He's also the vice president of the Langley Aldergrove Constituency Association. Through the federal Reaching Home program, the City of Abbotsford has been able to allocate more than $1.78 million in funding for projects that work towards helping vulnerable people attain and stay in safe, sustainable, and affordable housing. So the allocation of these funds coming following a 2-year renewal of Abbotsford's status as a designated community through the Government of Canada's Reaching Home program. So Ravens Moons Resource Society, they're going to pick up about $600,000. Cedar Outreach Society will receive $900,000. Spring means it's granting time with Abbotsford Community Foundation, an organization based in extending kindness, empathy, and compassion with its donors and sponsors, as well as student award makers, charities, and volunteers who make all the work possible. So they have a variety of community grants for adults and students. So if you want more information on this, just go to their social media for all the details. The FVRD advising that through March the 22nd, the end of this weekend, the gates are going to be closed for road maintenance at Sumas Mountain Regional Park. No access at all. The closures continue until mid-April, so expect delays and, of course, more road closures. Coming up, we've got sports. Abbey Sports, Rock Advertising, and OES scoreboards have replaced that old scoreboard at Rotary Stadium. The old one was actually installed back in 1989. Rock Advertising telling abbyTV that the new scoreboard has a ton of bells and whistles. It can be used from anything from football to lacrosse, track, and soccer. And a big thank you to both organizations for giving us a mock-up of what it's going to look like. In their final match of the year, the number 4 Trinity Western Spartans men's volleyball team used a balanced attack, defeating the number 7 Laval Rouge Or 3-1 last Sunday afternoon in the consolation final of the U Sports Championship at Kingston. The Spartans, with 5 players with 9 kills or better, defeating Rouge Orge in 4 to finish the tournament at 2-1 and remain unbeaten against Laval in the national championship. Now, the victory was Trinity's 4th at the championship since that tournament started with their first win back in 2004. University of the Fraser Valley men's basketball team making a big splash. They announced the signing of Abbotsford senior Dilvir Randawa in advance of next year, the 24-25 Canada West season. So he's a big guy, 6'6". He's a shooting guard and a 3-time city MVP. Meanwhile, University of Fraser Valley Athletic Department hosting its annual Cascade Scholarship Golf Tournament to support student athletes. The 4th annual event starts on Thursday, June the 27th at the Chilliwack Golf Club. It's a fun day for golf supporting UFV student athletes. Registration is now open. The early bird green fee pricing available between May 27th or until May 27th. That starts at $125 for the individual, $500 for a foursome. Coming up, Cari with the weather. abbyTV weekend weather. So, Cari, it's the first full weekend of spring. Are we expecting spring showers?
Hello, Abbotsford. Tomorrow is going to be your warmest day of the week and only getting up to 13 degrees. All the rest of the temperatures are going to hover around 11 but get down to around about 5, which is quite chilly. Precipitation-wise, there's a 60 to 70% chance of rain all week long. Not cool. So I hope you enjoyed last weekend's beautiful weather and sunshine, because that was your summer. Back to you, Don.
Thanks, Cari, and thank you for watching. If you have a local news story you'd like us to report on, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great weekend. I'm Don Lehn.